New evidence about the Trump assassin. Turns out his parents alerted police hours before the incident, and previous reports show that he was actually anti-Trump. We have all the information that they're not telling you here on Beyond the Headlines, only on Vigilant News. This segment is sponsored by Done With Debt, the only debt relief solution for American patriots. Go to donewithdebt.com today. I'm Elijah Schaefer. Let's start the show. We have new reports on details regarding the would-be Trump assassin who was taken out by Secret Service after a failed security perimeter. Now, the Secret Service is saying that it was mostly due to a slanted roof on why they couldn't put a counter sniper there, but new details are emerging showing that maybe, whether it was coordinated or it was just allowed to happen, law enforcement was grossly negligent. Independent reported that the dad of the Trump shooter called police after attack with concerns that his son and gun were missing, reports say. But it turns out that they actually called the police hours before as well, alerting them. Fox News has that report directly explaining what happened. This was originally posted by Colin Rugg. Check it out.
Rally shooter Thomas Crooks' parents were looking for him in the hours leading up to the shooting. We're now told they eventually called law enforcement to report that Crooks was missing, and they were worried. And they also were told, those parents are now being cooperative now with authorities, but they gave them the heads up that something's going on with our son. We are worried. We don't know the texture or the details of their concerns. So in other words, well, were they worried that he had a gun? Were they worried? What were they worried about? Were they worried that he was going to try to attempt to kill a sitting president and then go ahead and turn into an assassin and kill another person and injure two others? It was an attempted assassination on Trump, but he managed to murder anyway. Are we talking about that? What were they giving the cops a heads up about? This is the first time we are hearing this.
And it is. Now, the media is already, MSNBC is coming out and saying, oh, well, the would-be assassin probably went to murder Trump because he wasn't conservative enough. Every other explanation, Iran, roofs that were slanted, cop cars weren't parked. I mean, there's a lot of questionable activity around this. However, there was a recent interview that came out where one of his previous classmates explains that he actually gave hints that he was anti-Trump. This just in, watch.
Thomas was a quiet kid unless there was something that he was passionate about, politics being one of them. He just did not like politicians, especially with the choices that we've had. He did not like our politicians. It was especially during 2016. It was Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton, all of them. He showed that he disliked all of them, did not like any of them. So I brought up the fact that I'm Hispanic and, I'm for Trump. And he said, well, you're Hispanic, so shouldn't you hate Trump? And I was like, no, he's great. I mean, he's a great president. And he called me stupid or insinuated that as if he's like, well, that's kind of stupid. If he was a know-it-all. So once again, if he was passionate about something, he would just talk and acted like he knew everything, especially politics related. And he would say it in a tone that was like, I'm better than you in a type of way. And, meanwhile, it's like, dude, we're in the same classes. You know what I mean? We're talking about the same stuff here. And whenever it comes to politics, I mean, at the end of the day, I can agree, you can agree, you can disagree, I can disagree. Really know nothing about it. At that point, it doesn't matter. At that point, it's, we're just starting to figure out who we like and all. But yeah, he was real smug, arrogant whenever he was talking. And whether that was his way to try to make friends or be funny, I don't know. But it got under my skin a lot.
So he essentially told his friend, you're stupid for voting for Trump when you're Hispanic, which to me doesn't guarantee that, he was a Democrat. From my understanding now, it could have been faked, but it looked like he'd also donated the shooter to Act Blue and a couple democracy groups that were left-wing. And even though he was a registered Republican, it doesn't seem like he liked Trump. Now, I might be a little too skeptical about it, But even weirder about this is J. Michael Waller said that CNN reported 3 hours before the shooting, security caught Crooks with a rangefinder. We're finding out they saw him 3 p.m. on Saturday, roughly 3 hours before the shooting. Crooks was at the security screening area for the rally. He first aroused suspicion when he passed through the mejometers carrying a rangefinder, which looks similar to a small pair of binoculars and is used by hunters and target shooters to measure distances when setting up a long-range shot, according to a senior law enforcement official briefed on the investigation. So it's like all the signs were there. The parents called, they had warnings, hazardous materials were delivered to the house. There's so many odd things that we could discuss, but that's what it is. Now, reminding you that it's not the only crazy thing that's happened. Many of you know the economy is not doing well, and in all this insanity, maybe you have debt that's been piling up. You know how easy it is to miss your payments, let the interest pile on, credit cards, car loans. You might be buried and you can ignore it, or you can do what's right and you can confront that debt head on and get rid of it today without having to file for bankruptcy, without having to pull out a personal loan. Sounds too good to be true? Well, it's not. My friends at donewithdebt.com will help you today. All you've got to do is go to donewithdebt.com, donewithdebt.com, click Vigilant News at checkout, and they have a time-sensitive solution for you. So you can't really put this off because it's going to go away soon. It is time-sensitive. Please go to the website today, click Vigilant News, get rid of that debt before it's too late. Don't let any more interest or missed payments hurt your future. Goals for having a house or whatever freedom you'd like, go to donewithdebt.com today. Now, I want to say this. This is crazy. Ollie London reported, he said, Secret Service knew about Trump shooter for 3 hours before the attempted assassination. Thomas Crooks was being watched by Secret Service after he entered the rally location in Butler, Pennsylvania at 3 p.m. and tried to pass through metal detectors with a rangefinder. Although the device, which is normally used by shooters to measure the distance to a target, would not have prevented him from getting into the rally, he was immediately put on law enforcement's radar. Secret Service then began watching Crooks, but lost track of him when he left the secure area. He then went on to collect his rifle from his car. 40 minutes prior to the shooting, he then came on the Secret Service radar again after he was photographed by law enforcement crawling onto the roof while using the rangefinder to scout the area. The photo was circulated to law enforcement and the Secret Service. A Secret Service sniper team also spotted him on the roof looking at their position through the rangefinder. So this smells like corruption or something much deeper. I'd love to know your thoughts below on what you think happened. And if you'd like to get more of these reports, don't forget to sign up for our newsletter at Vigilant News on Rumble and on X, or you can go to vigilantnews.com and get our newsletter every single day direct to your inbox. I'm Elijah Schaefer. This has been Beyond the Headlines, only on Vigilant News. Have a great rest of the week, and may God bless the United States of America. I'm signing out.